Greetings, comrades. My name is Gigantles, and hopefully you guys have all had a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and good Epiphany. Is there a holiday, like, is there something that comes before Epiphany? So, you have Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, something Epiphany? If there is, I don't know about it. Anyway, so as I said in the first video, the first part of references to the book of Sirach in the New Testament, I'm not able to really do much like in-depth videos for the next few weeks, and that's because of various assessments I'm doing. There was assessment due, there's an essay. So there was an essay due last week Friday, and then there was another assessment, and there is another assessment due next week Friday. So I'm just trying to get that over and done with as quickly as I can, but also as good a quality as I can. I was definitely cutting it close with my with the assessment last week. I will tell you that now. What happened was that there was a problem with my computer. Okay, so when my computer stopped working, and so I had to rely on my really slow one to try and get stuff done. Now for this assessment, we needed it was a two-part assessment. So we needed a literature review and then a poster based around the literature review. Now I was a bit irritated at the fact that I lost a lot of information, because I lost a significant portion of my literature review and I had to redo the poster from scratch. It was an academic poster, okay, not just a normal like kiddie poster, but an academic poster, which made it a lot more complicated. And it took me ages to try and make that poster in something like GIMP or Microsoft Publisher. Now, I wanted to get an extension because this had happened on Wednesday, I believe, and by Thursday I was trying to get on Wednesday when this happened, I sent an email to a panel for my university and asked them to get an extension on my deadline. And it takes them around 24 hours to respond. So I thought, okay, so there's still a couple of days left. I can just try and work on this as best as I can. The following day, just under 23 hours left to the deadline of this assessment, they emailed me and said, we've looked at you, we've assessed your request, and we've declined it. You're not going to get an extension. And I went, and I grabbed my clock. And I was looking at it like, okay, how much time do I have left? Just over 22 hours. So I then spent the entire day, other than the fact it felt like there was a massive mountain busy crushing my chest, I had to redo everything within 22 hours. So I quickly did my literature review. I got everything sorted. I removed all the excess images and stuff I put in when I wasn't reading the instructions properly. Cleared that up significantly. And then in regards to the poster, this one I thought I'd have to stay up the whole night doing, because I wasn't sure if I was going to finish it in time. You see, the main problem when it comes to something like an academic poster is that you can't just put like big bubble font everywhere. It's got to have different sized fonts. It needs to have a lot of information put in. It needs to have graphs and images and stuff. Now the problem is that my computer screen is not A2, which you may be wondering, why would you need an A2 size computer screen? Well, that's because that's how big my poster needed to be. So I was meant to have an A2 sized poster, and then I was meant to put just headings, various things that I had done for my literature review, methods, conclusions, graphs, and everything. But the problem for me was, because my computer screen was an A2, I couldn't zoom to scale and see if my text was big enough to be read. And this was problematic because I had no idea if I had even enough room for images and the text boxes I needed and references at one corner. That was the one thing that was really holding me back. Fortunately, however, after going online, I found a decent template to download onto PowerPoint, and it had everything to scale as it was. So I just managed to work on that, and yeah, I definitely worked late on that, okay? And I cut it very close. I cut it very close. I actually put this meme up on my Facebook profile to explain how close I was. Yeah, I was that close. I was very close to. I was actually very fortunate that I didn't have like an internet down, like a loss of internet or something. because obviously if I didn't have access to the internet, I wouldn't be able to do to get like references and stuff and images I needed. Though oddly enough, the internet did go down a couple of days later, which was irritating. But I got that out the way, fortunately, and although I don't have, I don't think I may not be able to ask for an extension for this next assessment, but that's still over a week away, so I should have enough time to work on that. Because I did lose some of the information on that, but that I can sort out better. So the assessment's looking good for now. Another thing that happened was, unfortunately, let me just get this. Unfortunately, do you remember my big dark brown copper plated rosary? Yeah, it broke. So this is the Polish one. This is the Polish one with the like the Holy Trinity on that cross there. Sorry if you could see details. I don't know why my phone's not focusing. There's a bunch of Polish writing on the back. Yeah, so my rosary here broke. I'm not surprised. It actually broke on New Year's Eve when I was trying to put this on for my family to take a photo. This was like this was over my neck and it was a bit crooked, so I tried to pull down on it by the crucifix, and it literally just popped right off. And that's because this is metal, this is string. It eventually wears away after all that rubbing. It's kind of similar to my earlier rosary, except that this one wore away over here. So yeah, you may remember this one from earlier videos. This wore away too much against there and it broke off. So that's 2 rosaries down. And now I've got this one. So it's not the most it's not the prettiest one. It's this is plastic, or this is plastic, whatever it is, and this is metal, but this looks like it's faring quite well. So hopefully this one will give me the durability that comes with wearing an actual rosary. Because I'll be honest, the rosary I wear around my neck, I don't really use that one. If I were in a situation where I needed a rosary in public, then I would use it. But otherwise, I just use like my like this one here. This is not the most beautiful rosary on earth, and I just use this. This is the rosary I really use for praying. This is more of the decorative rosary I use. I will use it. That doesn't mean I'm never going to use it. I might use it if the need arises to. But this is just just having a spare with me at all times. I was actually arguing with someone in one of my groups earlier. He had put forward a post, and he had said that he had this discussion with apparently a Protestant pastor who had converted to a Roman Catholic, and he put screenshots from this discussion. And I very quickly found that he was actually in the wrong, not the convert. You see, what this guy had been saying, and maybe I'll try and find a screenshot and maybe put some up for you. The whole point about what he was trying to say was that the Catechism apparently denied the idea that Jesus had 2 natures. Okay, so he has a human nature and a divine nature. And he pointed out how in the Catechism it talks about Jesus having a united nature with the Father and the Holy Spirit. Okay, so the divine nature. And it doesn't mention there about Jesus having two natures, so human and divine, in hypostatic union. And so this poor convert is trying to correct him, saying, no, this is actually Catholic teaching here. And this guy, he was going absolutely crazy with his laughing. I mean, he didn't actually put laughing emoji, but he just went ha 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 everything. This poor convert had to deal with that. Now I tried to correct this guy in his post after he put those screenshots up. I tried to correct him, and this conversation went into like, well, I think last I checked it was 170 or so comments just between me and this guy going back and forth. And I can do a whole battle vlog video about this. I could do a whole battle log video about this one, because it's quite interesting after a while. I mean, maybe for you guys, but for me, not really, because I was just getting bored of this guy. It was this discussion I had with him. It was through looking through concepts of theology and metaphysics and the Catechism, basically talking about how it was possible for Jesus to have both the human and divine nature, why he needed to have both natures, and how this didn't demean his divine nature and connection with the rest of the members of the Holy Trinity. Now I thought that he was thought he was some sort of like docetist, like partial docetist, Eutychianist. But then he turned out that he had actually rejected the whole concept of the Holy Trinity, and he was absurd because he kept calling himself he kept calling himself a Catholic. I'm trying to work on my voice still. Sorry, speech, and it was irritating because everything he said was completely against the Catholic faith. Everything, even the fundamental part of the Catechism. And I was literally just quoting huge chunks of the Catechism for him. I was quoting the parts about Jesus having both human and divine nature. I was proving that Jesus had his human nature when he was ascended into heaven. I was proving how the Holy Trinity were able to share one divine nature and not be three gods, tritheism. And it was irritating because he just kept it. I'm really thankful that he didn't just put the laughing emoji after every time I said something, because if he did that, I may have snapped. Because I was with this guy just arguing back and forth for like 4 or 5 hours. I'm surprised I didn't run out of my commenting, because on Facebook, if you comment too much within 24 hours, I think 150 comments, then you're temporarily stopped. You're banned from commenting for a few hours. I could find a way around that for a little bit, but I didn't want to risk it with this guy. And I'm surprised that we didn't trigger that with the sheer number of comments we were having. On my end, it was irritating because I was just dealing with this guy. I could see he wasn't going to change his mind, but I was refuting him for the sake of strengthening up my own arguments and also showing other people that he was wrong. And I guess also to make content for a video such as the battle log video I'll show you guys eventually. But it was for me, it was partly enlightening. Partly enlightening to understand more about the concepts of more metaphysical concepts and how Jesus' human and divine natures worked and all that sort of stuff. It was definitely enlightening, but I will say if he had used laughing emojis and just laughed at every single one of my comments, I would probably have snapped then, because I was just getting so irritated with this guy. After when I was there for like the third hour, I was looking at these comments and I was going, can you please just shut up? Because it's more he wasn't even making a point anymore. He was just putting forward strawman arguments and ad hominems and everything, and it was just getting more boring than anything. I tried to get the admin to get involved, and he said, sure, I'll sort it out. We still continued arguing for 2 hours, despite me tagging the admin in a comment saying, he's right here, could you please get rid of him? Yeah, that was how my day today went. I spent a lot of that time arguing with people, and now I've still got a few hours left in the day, so I'm just gonna go straight to my straight to my literature review for geodynamics. We're actually meant to write it's meant to be one of 5 topics, and these topics are meant to be considered hot topics. So topics that are very spoken about, very new things coming into it in the field of geology, more information. And the topic I chosen out of these 5 questions is the difference really between. Okay, let me try again. The question I chose, basically, it said, when did modern style plate tectonics start occurring? And so I have to do research and start writing up everything about, okay, well, this is plate tectonics back then, this is plate tectonics now, this is why it changed, and here's why it changed and how this influenced the Earth. So it's interesting for me to do that. It's just a bit hard sometimes when I'm just typing, when I'm doing research, and I just see like the little 1 in brackets on my Facebook tab just flashing. I'm like, okay, what heretic is it today? There's too many heretics. There's just too many heretics, and I'm trying to correct them all, and it's just taking up too much time. But I know that I am restraining myself. Sometimes I just scroll past without barely reading, saying, must fight the resist. No, scrolling up. How do I scroll up? That's scroll up. Just scrolling up, saying, must resist the urge to argue. Just we apologists have this eternal struggle. Do we get involved in every argument we see or not? I only get involved in arguments that I can see. If I don't get involved, things will get worse. or if I see it as a potential learning opportunity for myself and those around me. But otherwise, yeah, so I really got around with this video. I keep saying yes. So as I was saying, hopefully you guys all had a good holiday. I won't be able to do too much because of assessment of an essay due next week that I have to do. Arguing with heretics for hours. I got to stop here though and just get straight to work on my literature review. So I, actually putting forward, actually having some progress today, and yeah, not just wasting a day. Okay, wasting a day is the worst thing you could do. And my rosary broke, so I had to get a new one, and I may end up just buying another spare. Yeah, just buy another spare. I'll be honest. I was a little bit sad when this rosary did break though, because I found it quite nice compared to something like this one. You have little light beads, and then you have like tiny little Saint Benedict medals and everything there. Wow. I just really couldn't be how rusty this is actually. Yeah. And then you have this one, okay, and it's it's dark wood, it's copper plated, so it looks like almost like a brownish gold, so it looks like brownish gold, except where all the way on my neck, and it's silver. And then you have this absolutely lovely crucifix, okay. This is a lovely crucifix. Can this focus? Maybe you can't see it too well, but this is a lovely crucifix. You've got Jesus here, you've got the Father there, and you've got the Holy Spirit up there. It's a shame that this broke though. Nah, well. Yeah, that's it for this video. So if you like this video, please do give a like, please do share my videos, please do comment on what you think of them, and any other videos you want me to do. Please do subscribe to my channel so you can see more content. And please do ring the bell so you can keep up to date with my video releases. We're getting there. I'm improving my speech. Next episode will be my New Testament references to Sirach Part 2. Once that's done, I'll have another Life University video that week. But hopefully by that Friday, I'll be finished and I can work on something a bit more in depth, whilst also remembering to work on my dissertation as well. Otherwise, have a good day, all of you. God bless you all. See you next video, comrades. Until then.